Richard Johnson, champion jockey, here at Iton Point to Point Cheltenham preview evening. How's it feel 5 days before the festival?
It's brilliant. We were just saying, I wish I was still able to do it myself, but no, it is. The build-up's great, and it just shows. There's loads of people here tonight, and there's a great sort of enthusiasm all over the country for what's going to happen next week.
What's it like to ride at Cheltenham?
I wish I could describe it. Really, it's just an amazing feeling. Just to be there is brilliant as a jockey, and then obviously to ride a winner is it's definitely without doubt the best place in the world. I got a great buzz out of riding a winner anywhere, but Cheltenham is just the whole feeling of when you walk in the gates in the morning, and then that feeling of when you actually pass the post in front. The crowd are second to none.
It really is the highlight of the season. It's what everything is about Cheltenham.
Yeah, and I think some people say that it shouldn't be, but actually I think it's great that we all build up to this, and it is for an owner, a trainer, a jockey. It's where you want to be, and it's great that everybody wants to take each other on.
But obviously we're at a point-to-point evening. How important is point-to-point in horse racing in general?
Very important, and I think actually British point-to-pointing has really risen sort of to the next level in producing younger horses to come into racing now. There's a lot of horses running at the top level now that have been British point-to-pointers. Obviously Ireland have been doing it for years, but point-to-pointing in Britain has got a lot more professional in the last few years, which probably has maybe been a downside for some of the smaller people, but actually I think for British racing, British trainers, it's definitely been a help in finding new stars.
Do you feel this close to Cheltenham, it's probably the best year the Brits could have for a few years because of that?
I think that's a help, and I think it's just been hard. I think the Irish have sort of had a lot more able to keep some of those real stars in Ireland, instead of when I sort of 30 years ago everything was for sale. I think now it's hard for the English trainers to get hold of some of those Irish pointers that that we'd like over here. So it's very competitive, but that's what makes Cheltenham. The Irish want to be here. Obviously, we want to win our own races. The French want to come over. We should celebrate the fact that we've got the best racing in the world. The point-to-pointers don't know whether they're in Britain, Ireland, where they're running, and I think that there's some real stars come out of our British point-to-point fields in the last couple of years, and I hope that actually almost is a good kickstart to getting more people training point-to-pointers in this country to get point-to-pointing even stronger again.
Well, there is no horse racing without point-to-point.
Well, no, and this is where it all started, years ago, and this is where I started, and it gave me a huge education for my first couple of years in racing, and I think, again, it's good for jockeys, it's good for horses, and there's trainers that started off doing that, and then they get a full licence. It's good for everyone, and I think a lot of the local communities really enjoy the local point-to-point.
Wasn't a bad education. You had a fair few years right at the top level.
It stood me in good stead. I rode at Iton, I rode at Weston Park. A lot of the local point-to-points. I sort of cut my teeth, as they say, and I probably learned a lot and probably got a lot of things wrong. But it's a great place to educate everybody.
So, last question: your best ride ever?
Oh God. The ride I enjoyed most has got to be Native River, and it's not. I was very lucky to win the Gold Cup, when I was young. But for me, Native River, as I was getting towards the twilight of my career, I probably enjoyed it the most. I realised how lucky I was to be able to ride a Gold Cup winner, and took in everything that happened afterwards. Where when I was 22, when I went on Looks Like Trouble, I just thought, well, I'll do this again in a couple of years' time. It took me 18 years to win it again. So I think as you get older, you appreciate things more.
Two legends, you and Native River.
Well, I'm not sure about that, but no, British point-to-pointing is really important, and Iton point-to-point is a thing that hopefully we look forward to for many years to come.
Thank you for your support.
Pleasure.